Welcome back to Ask Pop. Today we're talking about bacon in Jerusalem. Do I have a story for you? Well, technically it's two stories, but they are intertwined. So let's start with bacon, because doesn't every good story start with bacon? Years ago we were teaching a story in Sunday school about preparing for worship and how it involves all the senses. And one of our kids just popped up in the back and said, "Oh, it's kind of like bacon." And we just kind of looked at each other and looked at her, and she said, "Yeah, because when my mom's cooking bacon, first we hear her, I can hear it, crackling and hissing in the pan, and it gets my interest, and then I can smell it, and I start headed down the hallway." And then literally before I ever take my first bite, my mouth's watering and I'm really ready for breakfast. She said, "That's kind of like when I go to church. The first thing I do is I see the steeple, because we have a big steeple at our church." She goes, "So I see the steeple, and then as I'm walking into the church, I smell the church smells. I hear the church bells. So long before I ever hear any of the sermon or anything, I'm really ready for worship." And we're like, "Wow, she hit it spot on." And you're saying to yourself, "See, that's a really good story, but how is that a devotional, or how is that related to Jerusalem?" Good question. I'm going to tell you why you're probably digging in your fridge looking for bacon. Now, you see, our choir director, Norton, every year at Easter, he sings a solo of the Holy City. And now, if you've never heard that on Easter, I recommend you come and visit us and listen to it. And if you're from out of town, it's worth visiting us for spring break just for that. Forget about the beach and everything else. I digress. But anyway, I'm up in the pews and listening to this on Easter next to my wife, when all of a sudden, I'm no longer in the pews. I'm back in that bus with 40 or so other travelers coming into the city of Jerusalem in 2019 along with everybody else. And just, it's amazing, hearing Norton's beautiful voice. And it's just overwhelmed me. And, God doesn't make mistakes. And there's absolutely a reason that his first king in that city wasn't only a warrior, but also a musician. And it's this old guy's opinion that one of the most important tools in God's arsenal is music, because that allows us to connect with each other with love. Oh, and bacon as well, but that didn't come for a couple thousand years. Just kidding. Uh, Bible verses today are Psalm 122 and Revelations 21 9 through 27. As far as questions go, do you have any powerful sights, sounds, or smells to do for you what bacon did for that one student, or what the Holy City song did for me this past Easter Sunday, or pretty much anytime I hear it now after visiting the Holy Land? By the way, In the Garden does the same thing for me every time, because it takes me back to being on my papa's lap when I was a kid. God bless you, and have a great day.